Do you know who is Isaac Newton? Sir Isaac Newton, born in 1643, was one of the most influential scientists of all time, expanding upon the ideas of previous prolific scientists like Galileo and Aristotle. He was able to turn theories into practice, and his ideas became the basis for modern physics. He was the one who formulated the three laws of motion, which were derived from Johann Kepler's laws of planetary motion and his own mathematical description of gravity. In 1687, Sir Isaac Newton discovered the three laws of motion. This describes the motion of massive bodies and how they interact. The first law of motion is the law of inertia. The first law of motion states a body at rest will remain at rest, and a body in motion will remain in motion unless it is acted upon by an external force. This simply means that things cannot start, stop, or change direction all by themselves. It takes some force acting on them from the outside to cause such a change. The chess piece is at rest, until the chess player moves it. The ball did not move until a strong force applied. The swing did not move, unless a strong force was used. The key point here is that, if there is no net force resulting from unbalanced forces acting on an object, or if all the external forces cancel each other out, then the object will maintain a constant velocity. If that velocity is zero, then the object remains at rest. And if an additional external force is applied, the velocity will change because of the force. The amount of the change in velocity is determined by Newton's second law of motion. The second law of motion is the law of acceleration. Newton's second law says that, when a constant force acts on a massive body, it causes it to accelerate. That is to change its velocity at a constant rate. Anytime you see something change speed or alter its direction, it is accelerating. The bicycle is the mass, while the leg that is pushing the pedals is the force. When our chest rises and falls, lungs expanding and contracting, air entering and leaving your body, therefore, you are experiencing acceleration. The Seiko bag's acceleration depends on its mass and the amount of force applied. Acceleration is any change in motion from stationary to moving or coming to a stop when it was moving. Deceleration is just another form of acceleration, changing its motion from one speed to another, faster or slower. Those are all our examples. The third law of motion is law of interaction. The third law of motion states that, for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. It also states that when two bodies interact, they apply forces to one another that are equal in magnitude and opposite in direction. The action is Air rushes down, and as a reaction, the balloon would go up. When the hammer exerts a force on the nail exerts a force back in the hammer. Pushes down and back as the action, and as a reaction, the floor pushes up and forward. The third law of motion simply states that if a body exerts a force on a second body, the second body exerts a force that is equal in magnitude and opposite in direction to the first force. So, for every action force there is always a reaction force. No force can occur by itself. Thank you for watching. We hope that this video helps you. From Era and Yenny.